Hello, Darchei Tzion Shabbat, Parashat Chukat. This week we read an Haftarah from Perek Yud Aleph in Sefer Shoftim, the story of Yiftach Giladi, the son of Gilad, and it's connected to our parasha because Yiftach, in his negotiation with the king of Ammon, he describes stories that appear in our parasha. But I would want to focus on a certain aspect about Yiftach. Yiftach Giladi, the Haftarah tells us Hu ben Isha Zonah. He was the son of a prostitute, maybe the less important woman in the household or something like that. And Yiftach is not respected by his siblings. He's sent away because he is not the son of the important central woman of the household, the important wife. He's kicked out from his family, from his family's grounds, and he goes and lives on his own. When Am Yisrael are in trouble, so then they come and they see that he's a strong person and he knows how to lead battles, and they come to him and they say, maybe you should come and lead us. And Yiftach tells them, Halo atem snetem oti, v'tigarshuni mibet avi, umadua batem ailai ata kasher tzar lachem. You don't like me, you despise me. You even threw me out of my home. So why are you coming to me now when you have trouble? Now that you need me, suddenly you remember me? Harav Medan, in his shiur on the Haftarah, points out that this is very similar to what Hashem himself tells Am Yisrael in Perek Yud that we don't read. Am Yisrael are worshipping idols, and then suddenly, when they're in big trouble, they turn back to Hashem. Vayomer Hashem el bnei Yisrael, alo min Mitzrayim, umin ha'Emorim, umin bnei Ammon, umin ha'Plishtim. I saved you from so many nations. ואתם עזבתם אותי ותעבדו אלוהים אחרים, לכן לא אוסיף להושיע אתכם. לכו וזעקו אל האלוהים אשר בחרתם בה. You are worshipping all these idols. Go and cry out to them. Why are you coming to me? Very, very similar to what Yiftach tells Am Yisrael and what Hashem tells Am Yisrael. And I think we can look, what's the similarity? It's not only what Yiftach says and what Hashem says, but about the treatment, the way Am Yisrael see Yiftach, and on another level, how they understand and how they worship Hashem. The idea is there's no relationship and there's no covenant. There's no respect to the other side, but rather Am Yisrael sees Hashem, and as I said, on another level, le'avdil, Am Yisrael sees Yiftach as some kind of tool to achieve what they need. They can do whatever they want, and when they need a hammer, they'll get a hammer. And when they need a god, they'll call out to Hashem. And when they need a leader, they'll go to Yiftach. They don't see the relationship with Yiftach, and they don't see the relationship with Hashem as something that's meaningful, that's something that's all-encompassing, but rather it's something that belongs to, it's something just in time of need, they can use it. And therefore, Yiftach is really not happy when they turn back to him, and he is really upset, and they need to promise him that he will be their leader. You can look at it, this is a political opportunity, but maybe there's more to it. Yiftach is telling Am Yisrael, you should see me for who I am, and not just for when you need me. And this is what Yiftach is telling Am Yisrael. When we go on in the story, Rav Medan points out that Am Yisrael continue with this not really treating Yiftach the right way, disrespecting him, and not really completely fulfilling their promise in the complete manner. And also Hashem, if we go back to Perek Yud, we can see that Hashem also, Am Yisrael turn to Hashem, they cry out to Hashem, and then it says in the Pasuk, Vatiktsar nafsho be'amal Yisrael. What does this mean, Vatiktsar nafsho be'amal Yisrael? One of the explanations is, are different explanations. One of them is that Hashem had enough of Am Yisrael's pretend tshuva. Am Yisrael turned to Hashem, but it's not real. They worship the idols, they come back to Hashem. They worship the idols, they come back to Hashem. They have left him, and now, okay, they understood that Hashem isn't happy with the fact that they're still worshiping idols. They left that. They said, we're now coming back to you. But Hashem sees that deep down, it's not real tshuva. It's just a show. And therefore, you can also see that what happens later on in the story of Yiftach is not all beautiful. We have lots of problems. It turns into a civil war later on. Many, many issues. Because from the beginning, the relationship with Hashem and the relationship with Yiftach is not based on the right perspective. It doesn't have the correct foundation. And this is a lesson for us. So when we look at each other, when we see people next to us, when we talk to Hashem, when we see sectors within our nation, how do we treat each other? Do we look at the other people around us as tools to achieve our own goals, or do we manage to see the people next to us for who they are and really develop relationships? On another level, when we talk to Hashem, is Hashem there just to bring upon our needs, or do we really have a deep relationship with Ribono Shel Olam? Shabbat Shalom.